Hello, welcome to the second week of the month. Every second week goes for what goes within, randomly speaking. The word of the week is voice. Sometimes we listen and we filter what is for us to bring voice. I was raised to bring the voice for those who don't have a voice. I guess many of you were as well. I think so. I don't know. What rings to my imagination is some people are in love with what they're doing because they are simply in love. They have gone beyond reason. And they believe that they can only change the world through that passion and love of speaking and mediating to bring values. Even though some who are welcome to speak their voice do not know what freedom of expression is and are full of hatefulness against those who also might be against them as well, for equal reasons from different streams. Whatever they have chosen to pick, they belong to. There are only a few who believe in moving forward with the resources they have to build stories that are coming forward as we listen to voice with that rhythm, because it's being responded. For example, today I went to do a test of English history to become an English citizen. I didn't want to study it, so I failed. I woke up crying because I had to become a citizen. I couldn't be in my country. I had to study another country. So I failed because I didn't listen. I had to read. I had to read and listen, and then I didn't want to listen. So I failed. The new job asked me to get the card. All their changes within Brexit. So one has to change and get this documentation, which before nobody cared as long as you could just work. But now if you're getting a job, they ask you for the card, and it's like you have 1 year to get the card. Obviously, as any nation, to become a citizen, or at least to be a resident, you need to have the card. And that was not within the European community. As long as you work and prove your address and blah, blah, blah. So, well, everyone is doing that. So there was a girl who came out and before entering for the test in the outdoor of the building, and she said, "Yeah, I passed." And she was very happy. I thought I'm going to, if I get through is because like playing bingo, because I have not studied this. The civil rights I would pass because they are the same in every country that is. I don't know really which country is really democratic. But there are countries that are more democratic than others. And even though I'm not here to please you, so you laugh and enjoy yourself and love jokes about men and the stressors to laugh because they're so good. I'm not always pleasing you or making you feel good with jokes. You can hate me if you want. It's a free world of this part of the world, I guess. It should be everywhere around the world. And I think it's okay if you just keep to your own boundaries and let people do whatever they want. As long as you can eat and have shelter, be creative to get more tools, to be creative. Just keep your own business. There is a great belief that with internet, some people can help make a better world. There's a dream of a miraculous, contagious love affair that could get fashion, not just contagious, but it could abolish any sort of, like, we wouldn't be able to see wars or feel affected, even if we die in them or next to them. So we're able to hear, but we'll still be I cannot say that word. Even though I have passed all the questions that were about what is United Kingdom and the values and principles of UK, I didn't study everything. I just studied 2 chapters and a few pages here and there. So I will keep studying. And all that I said to myself was, don't worry, like if you're going to fail, you will pass this. If at least you're trying. If it's not today, another day. You already pay for it, just go. So I put my phone to wake up early at 6, and I slept over more than normal and didn't drink coffee to wake up early. As any other day is hard to wake up, so there is no reason to wake up. There is nothing is being given to me. So the thieves are always thinking they deserve to steal. They think one likes to do this for free. They think, oh, he's not an narcissist, he's an empath. He likes to do it for free. No, well, maybe I'm not an empath. Maybe I am a narcissist as well. Maybe I'm more than a narcissist than you are. And you need me. Because everyone around you is not letting you shine. You know very well that if I want you to shine, it's so you get my royalty. And I will give my work away. So nobody can support you as much as you wish, because you cannot do anything much. I cannot do anything much, and no one can do anything much. I am very grateful that you heard me when I said to triangulate me. But I didn't say to use my information for your behalf to pocket money, because you are having donations, even though it's for your foundation organization. awards. That was also inspired by one of my letters. And it should be unconditional, but my royalty is not. My part of the royalty. A kingdom is not made only of a king or a queen. In role play stories, I have always win because I don't play a queen or a king. I have support many kings and queens with other characters, and I have taught them. They don't even need have to do anything because people don't have the education and charisma to just as long as they have a kingdom, as long as they have a warriors, as long as they have someone doing alliance. But everyone wants to be a king or a queen. When they start to role play and have servants, nobody wants to mediate. No, I'm not going to talk with him or her. As soon everyone starts copying everyone, of course. But it's not that it was made. I cannot share everything as well because it would be copied as well. And this is not a game. Oh. So, well, my ears. In my country, they say that when someone is speaking about you, your ear is itchy. If it's the right side, it is good. If it's the left side, I don't remember. Or that someone desires you, I don't remember these things. So I want to have a good day. Even though we're trying to avoid the situation in this war with the wars because we cannot do anything about it. I'm not taking any wars as if it's been predicted by the same doings of the past. I'm not taking any drugs either or alcohol. I want you to know that you're beautiful and at least you're all trying. In the same way I was trying today to pass that test of English, that I'm trying to get a job to bring my children, even though I know very well that job is not going to be sufficient enough to get my children, and any charity group or any organization will never help me. I will be always the last person because I'm not an immigrant from Africa or Middle East or places from war. So I'm always the last person, even in my own country, Spain. And I was born in Venezuela from Spanish family and Argentinian from Spain as well. So they didn't want to help me from Venezuela because my country at that time was going through a turmoil. As humans, we cannot help those who are greater than us and have more connections. They have more money as well, and they belong to relations that are from many generations because of money. They share business secrets, and among them, they don't care about the law. They don't care about you or me. They want to do good as well for that which benefits them as part of their own beliefs. You will see people who will align with those in order to belong as well, that you thought they were your friends, but they can't speak on your behalf 100% if you have hurt people. There will be many wives who might bury their pain to be against you as well, because of whatever happened to them in the past and in the present that they still carry buried. They might reflect that with the woman that you were, and maybe it has nothing to do with those women. So there are many people who will be reflecting their lower emotions they have repressed, such as anger and sickness. When I said that I am a sinner among sinners, it's because I was born from sin. Yeah. I am not here to talk about my problems, because you are a nobody to my life. You're not family. You're not a person of trust. I am testing the waters, and I am listening to everyone. Sometimes I know to whom to listen, and I know who is behind who. That I don't say it because I like to watch. Because there are some people who have a very strong psychic mind with the psychic. It can also mean the spirit, but it's the part of the brain that operates within and without the boundaries of intelligence, that can understand the outside intelligence as well, where it's coming from. There are some people who are brought by Bill Gates to be in multimedia and behind websites. They do have access to even characters of Marvel Comics. They have access to information that you could never believe. But the world is huge. It's so big that you would never know the secrets of Canada and Canadians' politics. You will never know the reasons to control others. They have good reasons underneath. There are many people who still believe in the sacrifice of humans and children, not just animals. There are many people who believe, and they think to be superior, calling others that are human animals. Yeah. So we all have to be very aware and distinguish, and if not compassionate for those who have a sickness or an illness underneath their nice facade, to have at least an understanding of where is it coming from. You do not have to have a level of compassion to heal others. I do not believe in healing others, because they will manifest the sickness again. It is your own consciousness, the only one who can take awareness over your own body and physical existence. I have healed people actually, but I do not feel myself good enough as to say that I will stop a pathology. Only death can stop a pathology unless you are aware of your own. You can heal. You can make the whole world dance, but if you cannot dance by yourself, alone, on your own, and feel tenderness, feel that was only a moment of your life that you will have to go through. That could be your whole life as well. There will be many people who will tell you negative things because of their own beliefs. In their own continuum of beliefs. That is not universal love. I am not here to be sympathetic with anyone. If I say that I am a sinner, would I sin again? And I look down, it's because I don't know what I have seen to sin again. I don't know what I have seen. Did I hurt another person? No. Did another person feel hurt or has been in pain all its life, so you cannot even talk to that person? Yes, but that person has been in pain all its life. I have transformed people into love. Yes, I have left them better than when I found them, always. That I know is my responsibility where I am and the space that I occupy. My responsibility. Yes, I am. I have been raised to be responsible, not just for me, but the space that I occupy, where it's not that I have to knock on doors to know everyone is okay, but at least have a standard of peacefulness to know that everyone is okay, whether they need a job, food, and back to me as well. Did I steal from anyone? No. I mean, somebody gave something for charity and I take it, and the person is too busy to take care of the charity itself, I will deliver it where it needs to go myself. Sometimes you wish to tell people and call everyone in this world, so they put cameras everywhere. You cannot take everyone to court so they learn. Who do I think I am to be teaching everyone to be responsible? I will never have time to feel love in my heart. At least to wake up whenever I wake up, to work whenever I have to work, to be a better mother, to have a better relation with my work, with the abundance that I am bringing as a woman that has studied and worked and also found a formula that is very loving. And I can portray any character, an emotion without boundaries and make you feel disgusted, frightened, that isn't polite. Do I really need to tell my name or talk about a work that is greater than you and I? That is the point. Because if Jesus has thought of us to surrender and forgive, what do they know? What has happened in these 2,000 years for you to continue doing a judgment that is useless on any side of the board, on any curvature of this world. You just see your faces and just laugh. But there is so much danger in between, so much conspiracy, double faces, backstabbings. It's better you shoot your gun first and judge, have more judgment, so you win the electoral whatever to get more votes. Next year I will be talking about politics, and it's going to be quite surprising. What matters is that you can understand from your own inner voice. Are you doing what others have told you to do because you got that position? Or are you here today listening to your true inner voice? The inner voice that makes you juicy inside. Because there is something worth living for. There might be a shortcut to all this disgrace. Yeah. Can be just beautiful all the time. And honest. It's better to say I don't know. I wish I knew what is to become. How can you tell one story without the other side of the story? Because now we have internet, okay? Before, it didn't matter. Now, as long as you mind your own business, take care of your house, take care of your family, take care of what people think of you, and have more followers, that is all that matters. Yeah. And if you can ruin anyone to get more migrants to your own platform or whatever you hold as a holder, there you go. I will suggest for people to not be so right or left and be more respectful to every human being in this world. Understand that there are many people who've been raped. Yeah. Boys don't need to become a woman because they have a little dick. There are many women who love a little dick. The majority of women love men who have a normal dick, which is not in the pornography industry, which is not the best. They have to take drugs to keep it up. and they don't move this. They're not flexible with their body. They think it's just about their dick, and they only think about their dick. So a woman who knows, they know, is not the best lover in this world. So to melt together and for both to breathe intensely and go beyond oneself, because no one is. Body has more organs and more place. It has so many paths to go with each other. Forget even where we come from or where we go. Just to love the other is all you need, and all its forms, whatever it's hard or soft or active or resting or in a crescendo or in a symphony of love. So to hear and listen to the other is like passing a test again. Do you make the other person happy or in a tune because you were also listening while the other one is listening to you? So, of course, you do have limitations. Throughout time, I might pass the test. I'll just have on and on. I guess there might be, yeah, I just have to read the book. It's not such a big book to read. There are easy questions. I even have the answers and the questions. So some people don't have to pass tests because they have all the support. They will just pass just because or no other reason. And they have a fixed idea, and that's the only thing that would please them to be fulfilled with, to succumb and surpass the setting in their mind, because it's a fixed idea that's related to psychosis, which basically is the wall net within the neurology of our nerve system in our body mind. Is not as flexible sometimes, just to think that it will get orientated through other informants in the body, will only follow one tendency and fixed idea. All the mental illness are related to psychosis. Psychosis is the mother of all the mental illness. As there is a meditation that is the mother of all the meditations, because it has that in all the meditations, which is just being present. If we pray to God as well or sing, we become present. It would be an insult to be asking God. The only thing I ask to God is to serve Him. What can I do to serve Him better? And who could portray His image through Him so I can look forward? Because in my belief, we are part of His songs. to listen on his creation. I think the heart starts to hurt in a very mellow and soothing way after it has found the comfort and nourishment of the soul with the spiritual brotherhood and sisterhood of a shared symphony that wishes to not just dramatize, but help interpretate for others who don't know how to express themselves. And they need to recognize which scenario is which and for what, and who is behind that story. Because as you can rotate the camera, there will be always a main actor, even in virtual reality, or supporting actor and main actor. There is no character equal to another, ever. And I have like 99% to give you. I'm only giving you 1%. If you're happy with that, with sharing that, so that is your misfortune. That's the misfortune that you share with me and the world at large. The same misery and gap. Who is going to win? Because each person has their own legacy that their parents gave them and beliefs. For some people, they won't have anything until their parents die. So they will have to cope with what is there that's been left. Otherwise, they could be taken off from their inheritance. And not only that, they could be killed. Killed has many meanings. Being murdered is not the same than an assassination. An assassination is when someone has ordered your death, is being assassinated. It always has allegory and premeditation, which is the highest or lowest degree of killing someone, because it's been consciously with malevolence. There is nothing good that can come from that, but generations of therapy, and many will have mental illness throughout their generations, but mental illness that are related to schizophrenia, which is related to murder and assassination. So those who carry schizophrenia have that inner murder and murderer and murdered inside, because it runs in the family and is far away from narcissism or psychopathy. Is afraid of being murdered, and it wishes to be in control, to not have that fear. So nothing is going to happen as long as you do what they want you to do and you make everyone happy. They will always support you. Because that is where you belong. And you're doing okay. No one has found you. You are well protected and admired and loved by your people. But if someone like me comes with the realities of the world and how those who don't belong to you talk, because you never heard them, what is the world out there? Not just through manipulation and domination and torture and overcoming others' territory, and then showing through the arts and glamour and the highest riches what is to invite and follow to be make believe that is the best, which every empire has done that at war and with the arts. But spiritually as well. It'd be nice that we don't have to see this news. So what can we do to stop this news? These wars happening in the 80s, but we just didn't know. They were not on TV as much. So my inner voice tells me to be happy without forgetting those who don't have a voice. I have been instrumented. I've told myself to learn how to communicate and have fun with it until one day you might be asked to be able to just be there. It is better that everyone can judge me, so everyone can do their role better and they can compare with me and say how great they are, how better they are. Oh, because they're an actor or a model or an academic, for whatever reason, they are better. They're the chosen ones. They share a group, a secret tale. And now what? What are we going to do that we are here together and we share this marvelous story just for us because it's special? Where is your voice that you listen? How are you going to be grateful if you deserve everything? Because you're special. Because you found it. Or found you. You want me to not fuck it up because you're sharing it. You're never going to talk to me. You're never going to give me my royalty because you like your connections to be part of you. Having intelligence or wisdom or knowing everything does not make it. It's not good enough. Either having all the surgeries in the world or being the youngest or the prettiest. Not even being the richest person in the world is good enough. It's not good enough. It's the same for me. I haven't passed the test today. I just do it again. And pay more attention to the voice of that book, what it's telling me. Would it change my immortality? Is to say the work that I left for my children and future generations? Would it be better for them or not? Does it really love make a better world? Or is it just to give honey to people so they come where you take over? Or is it really a call from the heart where having healthy narcissistic traits is important because we come from a Christian world where we've been erased from loving ourselves to serve others, especially women. Because we never thought about ourselves. If we think about ourselves, we are a trump. On what follows. So you want to be recognized. What about recognizing the friends that are near you? All of them. In the real world, not in internet, behind screens. And get together. Whatever their schizophrenia and difference is, at least pay attention to their work, because it's the only thing that matters. What they say could be said because of convenience, because they want scandal, because they want to call for your attention. They don't understand the beauty of narcissism, the narcissism of loving oneself in a healthy way, in a healthy manner, of not hurting others. That you cannot do as good as you wish because you can't satisfy everyone. And patience might make a better way for you. So each piece of the puzzle can assemble. There is an input and an output to those who are together. It does not mean they are the same. Not everyone comes from the same background. I do believe the people want to make a better world in a faster way without having to deal with so much drama, unacceptable images and realities that others are going through. think in the future, any person who starts a war will have an atomic bomb immediately coming from somewhere no one could notice. That we would have developed a technology that it is impossible to detect where it came from. And even those who have shipped it are all killed, so they could never talk about it. And anyone who makes a step towards war, even because the other one has been aggressive, and they think to have the right to hurt others as well, in order to defend, of course. Naturally, it's never going to end, creating more waves of trauma throughout history. If you know that many people are lunatics worse than all of us together, because they are supported by people who had money with petrols. They're supported by these ancient beliefs. When I hear the voice of God, that was maybe once or twice, or maybe just one, but I didn't hear textually because it's like kinesthetic. It's very warm, loving, so wide, warm. It's when I close my eyes and allow, just let me work wherever you seem I am needed, not just the war in the Middle East against the Arab people. He said they are hurting my people, but he said it in a way that had no words, with a lot of sorrow and compassion at the same time, a lot of love. And like so many people or beings trying to help to transform that, but still it's creating so much more trash, more to create a healthier, multiplying solution. You cannot do it like this through internet or tsunami waves of information. It's not an algorithm, but I'm not going to be there anymore to support any cause. Preparing to enjoy my life and to just film what I'm doing as a normal person. Everyone is doing as well. Many people are doing. I used to be very happy to role play. We would never look at the news because we believe that all those people who are in the news and making this news don't belong to our world of creativity, because it can take our energy away from creation. Where so many are so generous with words and sharing stories. In reality, people are not as generous unless it's for convenience. So then it's not that generous, really. If they're suspicious and they only want something because they think they deserve it, then there is not really like a creative. Like, I'd rather be creating alone. But now I cannot create because they're hacking me and using my stories like as if there is theirs, their thing. I don't want to belong to people who think that are famous and better because they present themselves well. What do you know of how well you are? I have made more good in movement than you alone. You did it through other people's doings. I mean that I've done alone. Me alone. Yeah. So when I say that I am a sinner, and then I say because I have been born out of sin, and when I have said, would I sin again? I don't know, because I don't know which sins I have done. I have to say something to the priest. I have to say that I have sinned. I have to make something up. So maybe you're being playful with your sister and you're teaching her a lesson. I don't think that is a sin or that you should feel resentful because you are the big sister. So I was not hurting her, making her cry or anything like that. But they force you to go to the priest and confess, and you don't know what you've done. And you have to make up a story. I think little sisters have to respect always who is the big brother and who is the big sister, because they've been there before and they have to teach the little ones. So they like. My sister thanked me. I taught her how to swim because I went to swimming class before her. And in the holiday, we had a swimming pool. So I would play with her and tell her how to float. And you're doing it, you're doing it. And I taught her how to have imagination to paint and to dance and to trust that she's moving, to catch the ball, because she was my partner to play. They say when you are two sisters or two brothers or sister and brother, you learn to live inside a couple. You're a couple. You're two. I always wish my sister was my age or that I had a bigger sister or brother. So I didn't have to teach her or be so patient. But we played all the time. There was always something to do. There was always something to undo, or we'll always be just whatever it was. We were full of trust with one another. And she dearly thanked me. She looked at me like if I was a god. Or say, no, that's not going to happen to you. but I had to make up a scene that I have seen and confess to the priest, because we all had to go to the priest and confess. So we had to actually talk bad about ourselves. And not only that, your self-esteem learns to be like that. And I don't think Jesus or those who were around believed in that. I believe there was celebration and gratitude towards the Lord or the creation or something, whatever it was they share, the state of poetry. Do you really think that I could stop this war? That humans could get together to stop these wars? And the abuse of others? Is that really power? How could one human think to be better than another by making them suffer because they deserve it, because they also made them suffer? I think me and my sister, we might have had some fights, but we're not like that. Until my father was murdered. Then something in the family changed. Things change sometimes. You need to think that nothing like that ever happened. Not every family can get together and surpass something. But I do know some families can forgive something that happened. It's not just that happened to them directly, but to a member of the family or as a society or a culture. When we were dancing in Goa, in India, we would go to end up in some party. The people from Israel would say, "Yeah, I felt like I was dancing in a war," because they have this war energy. They're all like, "Yeah, like they have this power. I will fight for it. We have the power." So yeah, and they tell me, yeah, because they all go to military, the women as well. They all have to attend military. Let's starting from there. The Jews from Israel. So the Jews were not like because they killed Jesus. And now the world doesn't like the Arabs. They're both from fixed ideas, as anyone can have fixed ideas. I mean, you can be an eccentric or a fan of whatever you like, right? For example, I write letters to God and call him my king. I have plays where I talk about 𝙬𝙬𝙪𝙧𝙬 and I call him my king, our king, in plural. Or just God, and God himself. So throughout Christianity, there have been many pages, and it has been transformed from generation to generation in order to keep these pages together in accordance to the voices in actuality. And for some reason, it ended up, and that's it, until the... So we do have to start a third part, or this is going to repeat over and over and over again. And I am not threatening or harassing anyone, but who is writing what's happening today on, at least to say that the world is getting together and we're not gonna have another apocalypse again. When I talk about darkness, I am not talking about evil or dark forces of bad influence or pain, whatever, all this, what is related to anything that is bad and unwanted and unpleasant, violent, whatever. I'm not talking, and then the woman comes, they put all the makeup and say, I am good and I am going to win this because I am a being of light and good. And so like, well, this has nothing to do with the darkness that I'm talking about, all right? So what I know is my light, yeah? And what I don't know is in the dark side, is the unknown, the unseen, the unknown. I don't know. The mystery of life. I am not talking about the dark side of the Force in Star Wars. I think the characters are much fun as to... because to tell you the truth, I am very lazy to write, so I just make characters that make a spectacular appearance and disappearance, and for whatever reason, they look really cool. So some characters don't need to be there all the time because they are too cool, otherwise it breaks the magic, yeah? So it's just come appear and go. Why? Because everybody wants to play the good characters. So they need to be there all the time. People need to be with what is healthy and but this is also a part of nature. Into the cosmos, into space, into the unknown, no, it is not that I'm talking about the dark side of the Force in Star Wars or satanic rituals or killing people and innocent children or war or making sacrifices or sacrificing your sexuality because your wife is so annoying that at least you're still married and the best in the eyes of the world. That's why you have the position you have. Otherwise, they will hate you. So that's fine. That's fine. You're free to do whatever you want and consider that is acceptable in the eyes of God as well as a priest. That you give yourself to the studies. I'm basically celibate for 8 years, so just consider that. I might be more pure than what people consider a wife that is harassing you or torturing you or making you feel guilty because she's like that. That is not, to me, a person that one should be with. Yeah. Be careful of your appearance, how you think, who you are. Sometimes you need to be reminded that we all have mistakes. We all have dreams to achieve, mission for whatever our parents taught us that, our school, our society. We could learn other things as we go through the world. myself grew up surrounded by Jews. The friends of my mother from Argentina, they were Jews. And every weekend I play, and he was my age, 1 year less and 1 year more than my sister. And in my school, Catholic, so yes, I have a friend that is Jew. We pray every weekend. Nobody said anything bad. Which is like it's something different, but that was in Spain. So I have good relations in New York from Jews. And I call him like my uncle. I grew up with him, the best friend of my mother and his partner in business. She would tell him, Eddie, I cannot be with you sexually because otherwise I would lose your friendship and you're the best to do business with. But they really did love each other and love to talk. But he used to go to therapy for 12 years. And I can imagine he was always talking about my mother, a beautiful natural blonde with blue eyes who made her money and never complained on anyone. I think my mother was a healthy narcissist because she always loved to the golden rule. She teach me the golden rule. She was not a Christian that would go to church all the time, but she had the Bible in the center from all the books open wide. So it's the most important book in the world. So, maybe some parts of the world don't have it as such, and that is the only story I can tell you. She would say, like, that's a lot already. That says it all. With pride. In those times, narcissist was not the word. I do care about my mother and my children and the work that I have. I do care about the projections that are giving. I do filter what is what, where it comes from. The danger is, where do you want this to go? Because what I see that others see, that is a problem if it's against you or with you, because we're all starting to see the same, whatever it is true or not. Is this in accordance to the wall? That is the question. Or necessary. So let's say that here there is a war zone, yeah, this pillar. You cannot help this area, but you can help in the areas where are near. So this is death, the legend near death. If you are on a state of love and creation, we should always stay there, whatever other people are doing or not. It is normal that people want to fight the enemy because it can take over and kill what you have. that means whom you are as well. So some people think really that what they have is whom they are. That's another story. So they use other people as a property because of whom they are or want to be. So we will teach of those people in between what is the sense of pity through mediation. So for each of you, if you have this to give, there is creation. My father always said, if you have to report a problem in the news or bring the news, you should always end with the solution. Otherwise, never share anything. If you do not have a solution, never bring any problem because they're just adding more pain to the pain. You cannot say what is correct because you learned that, because this is the history, because that's what happened, because this is the true and this is the other true. So you are correct with both sides. Just don't say anything. Don't say anything if you don't have an answer. I have an answer. My nanny was Muslim from Morocco in Madrid. And she made many dishes. She was a little chubby. She was not very good with cleaning, but she would keep up with it. Because she spent all the time cooking. So she didn't have time to clean 4 floors. And she would always try to convince my mother that she was cooking all those dishes. She had a lot of love, but she missed her daughter in Morocco. It was sad. I could feel her sadness. My mother didn't want to give her a space to live with us. We had an extra room. So, because that's the normality is normalized. It's, yeah. So I couldn't understand many things. I still don't understand today of how humans are with each other. Would I consider that narcissism or a normality? As a child of 10 years old and more, I thought I would never do that in my power. Why would you do something like that? So sad. Why you think to deserve your children and have another person that takes care of your children? Why do you think that person does not deserve her daughter? So sad. Why don't you take care of us? Yeah. So there's always this big gap where someone has to replace. So suddenly it's like, oh no, you're good for talking, and the other one is good for sex, and the other one is good for cooking. The other one is good to look at. I said, yeah. I'm dressed like this purposely, of course. I can dress very sexy and just silent and play goofy, silly. or just silent. If we want more intelligent humanity around us to respect us for our work, our original work, we will have to learn how to count what is original by law. You would intuitively know what is made by artificial intelligence and what is not. What is made by stupid people and what is not. If that person is as good as what? If it's necessarily for the world of yours, or if it's necessarily for people's intelligence, wisdom, and enlightenment to surpass into the unknown of creation. In that space we can create, in that state of, until it's done, we know. We certainly might have an idea of what we're doing as a plan. You can only fulfill a story when you can address the space and time and the names of the characters. And what is your movement? Accepting the movement of the other. You can only share that reality. Monologues are never going to make a story move. You will never find a story that has transcended throughout history because it was just the same story. No, that story had many chapters. They moved. It was moving. Yeah, it moved from here to there. It was not just this sequence on and on. No, even if it's love, it's boring. It's not telling. It's not compelling it towards something that is like, oh my God, I went into the darkness and then found the light. That's it. But there's a story. Some people say, well, we need enemies too. That's Jewish conditioning. We need, in the covenant, we need to blame these ones to put all of these ones together. Or these ones. We need to blame these ones to put all of these ones together. It doesn't matter which box you pick. So you can put all of these together against these ones, so you get power over this to all. And let them fight. Let them fight. The more power you have over, the more you will let them fight. Being equal. But the Arab population is helping the Arab population. And the Israeli is helping the Israeli. And each one loves with complete madness their own. The Jews really think to be superior. And the Jews created a Hitler. Only the Jews could have created they are very intelligent, and nobody likes intelligent people. They know how to trust each other to make business. They don't know how to talk about values and business and what is marketing, what is tendency. And they support each other. They have been scientists and fantastic psychologists, psychiatrists as well. They have been studying from the Enlightenment era the mind on the spiritual world of other cultures as well, with the Christians, some Christians, with the Christians. And still, the Arabs have their stories from the Sufis. We're not enough people to heal others. And it is not fair for those who have enjoy life to bring a better world. We don't need martyrs. People will go towards their own business, but the world is watching. So it's not as the Hollywood time with red carpet and all this. It's not a world now like before with the lights. Yeah, after the lockdown, after watching all this Ukraine, Russia. It's not like, oh yeah, I want to go to Rio de Janeiro, enjoy, the carnival. So you can do that and completely disassociate from the horrors of this world and the miseries. And just think that you're going to just win the world because Meghan Markle has divorced Harry, for example, because some people think their happiness depends on that. Yeah. It is okay that people think of the royalty as if they are royals and they're below. It's okay. That makes them happy, if they can create a better world through that. I cannot help. I'm only here to have my royalty. I'm sorry to say the truth. Don't have any fuel to give to make you laugh anymore. Any of you. I don't have anything interesting to say for you to make yours as if it's your finding. I can make tendencies online without you. I have done them already. But they came from the heart. They came from my own privacy, from my own thought. Freedom of expression can help humanity how to respect others, how to share creation. Yeah. The Israel Prime Minister Benjamin, he thinks to be very powerful, and he's been supported to do what he's done, to create that to its own people. That's another creation of the Jews, because the Jews are also very racist. They hate other people that are not Jews. And if they talk with you, it's because of business interest. It's more and more, there's a little more of acceptance towards other people that are not Jews. in general, we are all falling into the mistakes of talking about these problems. Because it's Jew, because it's Christian, because it's white, because it's Arab, because it's woman, because it's man, because he's skinny, too skinny, or because it's too fat. Instead of just creating a better world with mansions into villages, helping with the mediations around the world to see how it works with the thematics, with multi-parallel storylines that I'm here to give, and apart with virtual reality. So what are you waiting for? You should be proud that you have won with me. You have a trophy that you still must run with. To reach that goal. But you have your team. And they are willing, and they have said already that they want to be a source of good. They want to be a source of good. And those are independent people who have their own multimedia and heartbeat. In the same way, there are those who are in inner circles of the very rich who think to be also a source of good. But who cares if other people die anyways, you know? As a servant, they're here to serve me. Clean my ass, baby. Yes, you're so lucky to clean my ass. Sorry, I was born like that. I know. You too. So when I say for the very rich that they need to come down, I don't mean that they have to be poor, but they do have to work among the poor once in a while. They have to, once in a while, clean their own, go in their own darkness and clean their own, their own. Not ship it there to the unknown because I'm so good. You're bad. There you go. Glorious, glorious. Where are we gonna go to consume now? Yes, we are a good source. Oh, very fast. Could not be any better. Feels good though. Of course, you must keep your beliefs, your source of divine grace, tenderness. But it is good for the very rich to come down, to recover their humanity and their own innocence, to forget how rich they are, because they feel very rich with other people doing ordinary things as a working meditation. I am against making the rich poor or to have less. Everyone should be rich. Not everyone can be as rich as those who are more rich, because they are the ones who are going to help multiply. What is going to help is for people to learn how to be more educated. It's just a matter of education and murderous patience. Murderous patience. To see that it's going to start happening. once in a while, not all the time, but once in a while, once every 3 months, 3 years of your life. Spray it around 5 years, 7 years. Just see where you're going to work as an ordinary person, just picking fruits, cleaning your castle with others, the horses, being part of the collective, not to serve the military with others, doing normal jobs, but also working with them once again. It is good to be alone as well, as the priests do, and the nuns, to have that connection with prayer. Some priests go mad, and nuns, because they go beyond the mind. The mind is so open. Some of them never go out of the monastery, and they just wake up every 4 hours to pray and sing. So their mind is not fully in a rest, deep dream. So it plays with their mind. And some remain like awake throughout many years, day and night. So they are very sensitive. They lose their sense of joy through the body because they are celibate. But at the same time, they nourish that sense with another sense that might not make much sense to you or I. It might, until you have crossed over that threshold of madness, because there is a madness there in the realm of dreams and nightmares. There is a realm of fantasy. There is a realm of imagination. There is a realm of information through emotions and past memories, or information that's been read through books. Those are beliefs. It does not mean that exists as such. It is a reality, as there are many realities. So for scientists, I recommend them to reorganize themselves to describe different realities as dimensions exist. Yeah, so we can move into a multidimensional reality. At least we will have the reality of the self, of whom we are or look to be, that we are indeed. No matter how many changes we could have, we still are that person. So we have been given this body, biological body, to be grateful for, to be grateful, to love and be loved. It's very meaningful that we can still love and find a way to define that perception and configuration towards our relation to life in our doing specifically. So, when my father was murdered, I never wanted to return to Venezuela. So I was not interested in what my parents had. I cursed my father and say, I don't want it. I don't want it. I said, I don't want the land. I don't want nothing. I don't want it. This is what you gave me, your murder. You didn't care about your own life. You didn't listen to me when I told you that you were in danger by living with these people, because they would never understand your sense of creativity and they would hate your intelligence, even if you dress like them. No matter what you do to be loved, because you are giving them land, territory to live. You're working so they have their water and electricity. You're working so they can pay with credit, with the little they have. They will never see the benefits they have, that you put the land 10 times cheaper. They will never appreciate that you giving them a credit without any investment to put up front. Just start living there just like that. So they entitle themselves to think that they deserve that land. And they all started to talk bad about him, because he's a colonist. And the colonists came to take their land, and that was their land. All right? Not only that, they live very far away from a natural disaster. He was helping them to have their territory, because those were houses made in a mountain where there was a flood. So it could happen again. It happened 60 years before. And this happens to every group of any human category, whatever you like to be defined. So it is good to create a map or a part of ourselves that can think for something that is systematic for all of us and can be seen as it is in a three-dimensional map with the same information for everyone. We should meet every day to see how we're going to do this. Understanding that people have their own fanatic views and fixed ideas. Yeah. So imagine if I have to convey to all the religions of the world and say, yes, there is only one God. Yes, all God is for all of us. Of course, your God is the same God as my God. But no, your people are not like my people. No, I have a problem with my people too. I guess I am the problem. So, so at least we can talk with each other. It's not that we agree. If we really did agree, we would be dancing right now. That's what happened to people in Israel. Yeah, they start dancing techno music, right? So I wanted to put parties of trance, but I thought it was going to be a problem. What if I buy land in Libya? And I was telling to people that are from Libya, said that I cannot bring people there to dance in the beach, because they will get horrified if they go naked, like in Ibiza, or listen to trance music. They would get horrified, the Muslim. No, we're open-minded. We like other people as well. I said, yeah, no. I mean, they killed my father too, and they were not Muslim. They were also Christian, supposedly. So the only problem is that my father didn't look as they are. And my father had to go and check and go. Say, yes, Father, you can work with them one afternoon, but you cannot be there every day, because they're going to think in other ways. You have to keep a distance so they respect you. First, so they cannot get to you with crazy ideas. The best thing I did was to go. after to Palestinian Muslim people in Jordan. Well, I left. I have 500 acres. I left. Why we're going to be fighting for land? That's ridiculous. Look at me. I'm so happy here with you, and you've never met me before. We're not from the same religion or family, and we're talking about Palestinian land. Who cares about that? Paradise is within you. I guess some people understand that, and some are fighting for that, but that's not a state of being holy at all. You can fight and have inside of you a state of psychosis that thinks to be heaven. And that is what Benjamin has. Not only that, he thinks to be the second Messiah, or the Messiah that has come for the Jews. And this is being nourished by the Rothschild, who have invested greatly in Israel, as many other Jews and Christians that like to do business, politics, and war, and justice, as Arabs do with the Arabs, to think that they deserve paradise in a piece of land on this earth. I think that the Christians were very smart and they left. So we're not going to fight. Even Jesus was born there. Was Muhammad born there? No. Was Abraham born there? Moses born there? No. Only Jesus was born there. So, and the Christian, why? Because they have better things to do. And better wars to fight, better lands to conquer, I guess. But those are more stories to the table, because that's not the only truth. There are other truths behind it, other truth. And what it matters is to change all this with stories that are creative to remove away. You can only transcend by understanding that these people will only listen to their people, and perhaps there will be only the immigrants that were raised here and will want to do something good for their own ancestors, but eventually they cannot be brought here. They can be brought to countries nearby. I wish the rich and all those people who want to win votes by saying they are humanitarians, by bringing immigration, go to live where I was living around, with people who hate the Christian world, because the Christian world has not integrated with them either. They're just in their house. Woman, we cannot dress beautiful with dresses of flowers anymore, because all these Muslim people look at us down. Man don't know about that. Some women will still go because they just go take the train and go to the job, and they don't have a neighborhood full of Muslims and Africans that they also feel they have a lot of hope and they're proud to be here. But at the same time, it's difficult for them. But they are better than where they are, of course. But they don't have the ability to think what is really necessary for them to be part of this place, because there is no is going to introduce them to the Western world as they are. So these are the books that I have to read to become a citizen of the United Kingdom. There is nothing being said here because I have just look at the themes. Yeah. There is nothing here about recycling and respecting other civilians. They don't explain what is freedom of expression. And that this is a Christian continent. Yes, there is freedom of other religions, but they do not explain that they cannot be looking down at other people or think that their culture is going to conquer this culture, because this is why many are investing to. They want to believe they're going to take over Europe and United States by, I also think that their children are going to pregnant your girls. They have this morbosity, and that they are going to become Muslim. They have these delusions they share in the private. And not only that, they are happy when other people die because they have their share pain. Their pain also because of the other culture, whatever culture, like the same thing that can happen among neighbors or within a family because for whatever reason. Logic can be very boring. So that's it. I wish you all well. It is beautiful to hear Jordan Peterson. I think it is good to have people who support you, to have a family that supports you. In my family, everything worked well. Until something happened. I supported them all. I told them what I really felt for them. They're good, but no one would support me. All the therapists said that I was a saint. In many other places, they said I was a saint. They would never hurt or talk bad about anyone unless it was to make them I could make people laugh and make myself laugh out of my own impossibility and the other's impossibility through misunderstandings. I would make people laugh. We would understand each other. We would understand that we could not understand each other. And throughout nonsense, we could understand each other better. Or at least to know that we can support influencer making mansions into villages, that we can have each of us our little ones, our big ones we support as fans or friends aside. This is not a cult or a mini cult. And no one here is a spy or any other, even though I know who comes from who and why. What do they pretend to do? I do not like people because they're Spanish or because they're a woman or because I watch them. Sometimes I watch people and I'm a follower because I'm laughing at them. Like, this tarot reader that is Samantha. I know when she's lying. She wants to manipulate it. I laugh at her because she does have an intuition, but she makes me laugh. It's not that I believe in her, but some feel for her because she has her own paranoias, and then it's like and then she just put her emotions in all these things, but it's her own emotions. And she always thinks to be a good person. What I like about her, that's why I follow her, is that she talks nonsense. She just talks and talks and talks and talks, and she cares nothing about no one but her. And I gave her in an email the character of Metatron, and I knew that she wouldn't pay attention to it because she is so important with her channel. And I thought, wow, if people could role play, but they're so stuck with their own image, because now YouTube is giving a portal for people to be a star. So they have like their 15 minutes of fame. They really think they are special. They come here to do something that they have followers. Even if people have 6 followers for many years, they're friends. You can feel like there are millions of people that follow you because you love them so much and you're so used to them every day, every year. What I like about Amanda Ellis is that she cares about the news in the world. And sometimes she says things that are true. So I'm always waiting to catch what she said that makes sense. Because I am a listener. I used to think I should rather be role playing, But I am just here to sell the rules of role playing to virtual reality. I know that can make a better world by the interaction of many people, not through YouTubers that do monologue or famous people that think to be the chosen one. Of course, if you tell to people that, everybody's going to buy that. Yes, of course, we are the chosen one. I already said that story, and that can save your life because anyone will believe they're chosen. Yeah. Because just to be alive, that's already a meaning for you to be chosen to live your life. It's not discriminatory against those who feel they are chosen to live their life. But to say that you're the only one listening to this, it doesn't mean it's a cult or a special circle. Maybe you're responsible because now you heard this. So what are you going to do now? I really want to thank to the priest Byron Robert, the bishop in YouTube, because everything he says, but everything, is brought by something I don't have. And it pushes me to keep praying so this happens. That virtual reality could be closed deal so we can have the royalty, for mediators, for mansions into villages, to help create a better world faster and stronger without having to talk about people's problems. They will come to the part of love when they are ready. And they will have a passage to come when they want to walk that path. It's always there. And we cannot help sometimes. Sometimes there is no help. I can tell you because I have been there and I am here every day and no one is helping. You're just watching to keep creating content. Some to manipulate the media of the free people to think that they are in control if they can change their freedom of thought and reason. Others are here to teach others to communicate towards a common goal that is not about fighting to win, but to create a climax. Is a climax that transcends your side and the other side. The climax could be created through death. It could be transformed, trespass. It can shower through you with an understanding that is so aware that you don't know the meaning of it, but you understand that. Because we come from there. When we suck the titty of our mother, if our mother had us from her womb, because there is trained people who believe that having children without your wound in your belly is okay. It's like having a baby of artificial intelligence. It's better if it's not emotional. It is better if it doesn't feel love. It's better. It will be more intelligent and smart. I mean, like, just look at the woman they pick to have babies, first of all, yeah? And you will be able to dissect. Oh, yeah, yeah, of course, yeah. It makes sense. Let's not talk about it. So that's one. That is one. So if then they can have breast from their mother, that love. Wow, you never had even the memory of having the nectar from the titty of your mom. What was the best emotion you ever had since you came out of the belly and sleeping? That is like kissing the stars when you're in love and your heart was never broken, that you could love again. Even though God gave you the gift to understand that nobody loves you because people are on another, what can you do? You can love at least. What is there to be loved with and love? You can love miserably, but you still love. You can love with delusional grace. It's a fantasy, a shared belief, which is stronger. Of course, role play stories are better than others because They have visuals, beautiful images. It enhances your imagination with beautiful music. And sometimes static image is better than moving because it allows your imagination to absorb the story more and just to feel through the image in a more kinesthetic, in a more tangible way that's through feeling and all the senses. All right? And you can share that because you're both creating that story. Or three, or four, changing from different places. This is too new, but it's a shared reality. You have shared all the senses together, and you have shared a reality. It is real. It's a different sort of reality with different rules. And they can teach us how to be a better human beings and aid our intelligence. We will learn how to relate with artificial intelligence. We were capable to understand that white people are offenders, and there are many geniuses that come from around the world who are not white people or white males. There are many geniuses around the world and people of good. And once they stop this, it will happen. I will never give you my formula for free for that reason, because of whom you are. I'm not asking you to change, but to let go of that which is not yours. If you can. All of you. Everything you want is not going to be, it's in your mind. It's a reality in your mind that you nourish on and on. You want to make believe. That reality can kill you. It is fine because you think to have chosen that reality, but it was not your idea. Give them power and they will abuse. More, more, more. I want more. So there are people who never felt love in their life. you cannot expect these people to know what love is. They might love the money, they might love the jewels, they might love to show off, they might love to pay people to make them ejaculate and come. They might love to hear songs of broken heart that's destroying everything in a video clip because of them. Yeah, they will love that a lot. That's love for them. It fulfills their imagination. Somebody saying that to them because they didn't love them enough. Fulfilling their ego. Is that love, really? They don't want love because for them to love means to lose. It means to lose to love. Business and to protect yourself. Make business. I don't have anything against actors because the whole world can learn how to act through role play and write their own stories as script writers, not just be actors. Take care of their bodies, eat healthy. A beauty that everyone deserves to. I know that love exists because I have lived through a lot of people that were living with love. We all do have loved whatever is egocentric. We all have loved whatever it is ourselves, because of ourselves, and because others are watching us and we feel important as well. Like Michaela there, how to spot a narcissist. Oh, because this is a very important person is maybe watching me. So that is part of the play. It's daring. So you're having your freedom of expression and starting to learn about your own narcissistic traits. And maybe some of us need to adjust a little more in a healthy way so others don't take from us. Because that coping mechanism is also a reflection of the need to feel safe. You cannot make a house with people that are all going to be jealous, envious, and start gossiping until they kill you. It's not a healthy environment to live in a place that is so unknown that you don't even can blend your material self there because there is no right for you. There is nothing solid for you. Even if you say it's a solid rock, you're still dividing yourself from the world that you need to live in, as the world needs to live with yourself. While you exist for that reason to be the best of you for this world and each of us. It is not too much to ask if you think in that way. So anyone who starts a war, no matter the reason, should be killed immediately. That's Putin. And anyone who celebrates that, those actions should be taken also into accountability as people who support those ideals of killing others, no matter what anymore. Nobody should take anyone's territory either. If they want to be Muslims or Jewish or Christians, what can to convert people into Christianity? How can people understand what is forgiveness? They can become. This is the problem with the Muslims and the Jews. They have no forgiveness. How can they transform? Through how many wars they have to get out of their own system to see the reality beyond their sick ideas? Because however good they've been placed, how good can it be if you don't have forgiveness to understand that you can do it better again, to understand another, to listen, or to get out of that? It's not the only way to be. Again, another generation like that? Are you crazy? How could the world allow this? Just because what? One thing is that the Rothschild want to do good things to the Jewish community in Israel. The other thing is another thing. How about they're our friends? Oh, all here in this spot. It's okay, you know, we belong to this other way of thinking where other people just die and disappear. Woo! Psst. There you go. Be born again. Oh, let's just philosophize. Yes, let's just watch to Jordan Peterson. Or, yes, fabulous. We like to create, of course, that's why we're happy. And compassion. What other religion has compassion? The Buddhist in the sense of enlightenment, but not in the sense of being industrious to create jobs in clear waters or share a message to stop the industry, creating inventions that are not as good as they seem to be. Because everything that is new, tendency, more genius to keep my genius high, more genius ideas, and casting keep appearing on everyone's screen. That's all. To listen that this is not so good for the earth, let's change this, but all that can be seen in a world that is shared for the only world that we have. Jobs, industry, how to make it better to not destroy this. We have all the solutions already and better people to talk about it as well. So I'm not here to do a Hollywood presentation for the Oscars. For you to feel special with an Oscar award with your friends, or to put more silicone to that. So we can all dance and celebrate through our creation. For that, it takes perfection. So that is your gap that you speak of. You did from my idea, and you did from my other, And you got to pay me back as well and say thank you. You don't have to be grateful or love. You and the friends who gave you money, that now they are closer to you. That's what you want. That's what you have. Yeah. To be better than others. You think others feel better by looking at someone that thinks to be better or that is better by doing, if they really get to know what he's doing every day, it will break their hearts. In the same way, my heart is broken that you are doing that every day with the most beautiful voice and talented. Wow. That's what you're doing today. It's heartbreaking to know that such a beautiful man that is born to be a king is doing that every day. Nobody's going to tell you that. They're going to say from one side of their brain, that's great because he's going to support freedom of expression, because he's right to be free to express himself. He's expressing himself. He doesn't have to show his face because he's letting us know who he really is. He's not hiding because he's sharing for us to know what he really thinks, what he's speaking about. He's speaking about this woman that actually means this woman, but that also means this other woman and his wife too. He hates all the women, but at least he has freedom of expression because he wants to love all the women. And all the women maybe want to love him. And the man too. So be careful because he might do you, guys. Anyways, if you're complacent, it's fine. I don't care. But this is not a cult, all right? You can have the people of Elon Musk that sharing his post and his image all the time. The people of the gay community, they only share the gay things, and the other ones who hate the gay, and the mothers who want to be women, but they cannot be woman because what is a woman anyways? And there you go. Let's just do what everybody wants from me. So they love me as well. This is not a cult. A cult, all right? That somebody wanted to have a cartoon, is to make it a cult. This has nothing to do with that. This is a problem because there are too many hackers looking everywhere. There are fantasy stories, there are role plays that are fictional stories. Role play is used in therapy groups, is used in Dungeons and Dragons, and is a blend of virtual reality where we have worlds that are real in other formats. So there are rules, and we're only playing monologues and one by one, which is two-dimensional. Monologue is unidimensional. One by one is two-dimensional. This was happening right now in the world as well. Journalists have started to talk what is more two-dimensional. Like, I've started to say, like, well, I think Putin needs to see the world more two-dimensional. Like, yes, there are some survivors from the Second World War, but that doesn't mean that everyone is a Nazi in the free world. We don't, like, I could be having so much fun just having to listen to this. It's like, yes, I will support you. I believe in you because you will support me. And even if I say that I wish you death, you still believe that I will bring the world together. But it's you who has to stop this war. It is you who have to stop copying people's work and honor others. The Chinese must accept that there have been incredible minds in the free world because they're free to think. They have copied everything, nearly everything. And in America, they have to accept that people from around the world have gone to America. They're not fucking Americans. They're not American. It's from the United States of America or Canada. But I am South American. And still, there have come people from Europe. There have come people from around the world. You cannot do this. To think that you are going to own the world is so hurting to ever think that even that you speak the truth, you're still pushing towards that. And the world is just like, well, whatever. They like to run the show. They like acting, at least. We do actors. We have such a good comedians from around the world. It's the things that you don't know them. Storytellers. Beautiful, intelligent people in Venezuela as well. Brilliant and sweethearts. You don't know. You can talk. If I am talking to Bill Gates, it's because I sent him this. If you think you have a problem with Mr. Bill, ask him. But a normal conversation, not just been shouting there that they are the enemy, we are the people. Where is the conversation that is eloquent among what you said, that you read this from this person? But you cannot just go and talk against all those who are support our for the environment. This is the environment that we are creating to celebrate and create wealth. In your hands, in each achievement. You have the tools to get together and make your agreements and solemn promises to achieve something you never thought it could happen before. People have to listen to your voice, to believe in you. Because of you. Every day because of you. We do have masters that create spells. They are masters of the word and the mind, who creates these sentences as the course of a river that comes. This sentence. And even the person who got paid to make believe it was his invention to talk about virtual reality, or the other, and the other, and this one. You can't convince people who are part of an information that is uncorruptible. Because even they will turn to us, because we're not looking to corrupt anyone. And when I say we, I'm talking about the people who are doing a better world without tyranny, without corruption, without trying to make believe anyone. I know some try to manipulate with the truth. What is the truth? To use in their own convenience as a tool of power. Just on the edge to not be too far away from the other and the other, because they need everyone. You want to paint a white path for others to find the way, not me, for you. That venue that's giving from one another, we can manage that once we are aware of what we are doing. That maybe you are in that corner of the puzzle and this other one is working here. It's not that you have to insult this one because this part of the box is like that and this other part of the puzzle is like that. But understand the conversation in between. And I can explain it. I can explain it better. That is not a monologue. It is not a one-page communication that is always saying the same. There's even people who talk about meditation and they've never gone on a spiritual journey. Just a little bit here and there. Just there is more. That can provide at the same time for many places, rapidly, respectfully. Yeah. And trust that you can do it. We are multidimensional. Once you know that, you stop being afraid of whom you are, because you are unlimited. You still have so much to explore within yourself. It's like others. Yeah? Not necessarily being in the body of a man if I'm a woman, but throughout the stories of understanding one another in this living life, not in a book. Or in internet. We don't really need too much to be happy, really. To know you have satisfied your children. That not every child is the same. Some children will wish you to do it yourself, that they will learn from you when they see you again. They will need you when they have matured, because anyone can do that job. And they know you have at least a dream that's for them. Only then those fears vanish away. Because we all come from that space of love. It's a space of maybe darkness. You cannot really see what can define love that is really love, is only love. Yeah. But that if it's true love, that can define everyone, that is God. We all have our fixed ideas. And some of us need to have our fixations. But I do have respect for other people's choices. I will never manipulate another person's choice unless it comes from their own awareness. Because why would I need people that need to be manipulated? That's the point. The point is that you need to be with people that are aware, that you need to play with them because you're sharing that field that is electric, that is joyful. They don't need to copy you and be posting all this shit. Like, you call that consciousness? You're copying words of bringing consciousness to another dimension of this world and universe, but that's pure publicity. Posting is consciousness? Wow. So then you have to understand then, okay, these are, they live from that, they're connected. That's their connection. But in reality, they cannot even hug one person for too long. That is a way of being separated from people's reality. The realities that are shared on the internet from the real life need to be defined, and virtual reality that is from the fantasy and fictional world need to be known as virtual reality. There still needs time. Some would call objective reality what is the real world in real life, and many call it real life. In real life, well, in real life I'm like that, but you're talking with your avatar of your real life. So some people take a personality with the outside world, but they're on internet. So you just say it is on internet. Yeah. So these are fashions from groups and groups of people that are calling it different ways. And it's interesting to know what Mark Zuckerberg is trying to do by calling it mixed reality. It still needs time to develop what is that. If people want to develop why would they develop or not? So the theme of the voice for this week would be, how are we going to learn to listen to one another through freedom of speech? Because we cannot hear when there is shouting. We cannot hear when there is nothing for us and all we do is give. I give and give and give. I don't even have food for my children. And everything is taken. It's not, I could be enjoying my narcissism right now and sharing my content and getting money from it. It's not that I don't like to show off and have a lot of money and followers. It's that I'm not in the condition to do so. I've been role playing. I've been just having a normal job. I've been trying to fix the recycling system within McDonald's with healthy mediation through 2 years and then through the law system indoors for the planet. So we can recycle, so we can notify the recycling machines, the localities, the governments who share these industries of trucks who recycle, who monitor. It's not enough people working in government either, so you can't blame government if people still consume so much. So there's so many people. How are we going to do it again? Just one place at a time? Because it's better to hide and feel safe. Anyways, at least I can take care of my way. That's my way, the only way. Nobody will hurt me if I insult you. Because that's what you need, an insult. You need an insult because you have insulted me because I haven't paid you and I've made a lot of money thanks of you. And I'm sharing you to make myself being known. Oh yeah, she's the daughter of God. She's come like a messenger. Like, yeah, it's not that I work in UPS, but here's a message for you. Slap better if you can. Maybe you can slap or pat our backs. We can make better stories. Very soon I'm gonna have my iPhone. I'm just gonna go around and just talk with a stick there like a tourist. I am here and there. It just I already have programmed that. I'm not going to talk about it because it's part of my own pre-production for 2024. I want to say thank you to King Charles for saying 2022 to the Chinese. I believe the China and the West can make good relations. The rest of the world needs to know loudly the good things that we are doing. And even though the Chinese are not 100% with the world, because Russia's at war, Ukraine is at war, there are other places that are still at war. So we cannot do this until this war stops. How are we going to do this? Because there are people that have allies, friends here, families there, or they were from here, from there. How can you say that you can do this? Huh? Someone has an idea? How can you do this? Yeah? How can you say that this world is this world without some of these people in the world? If someone has an idea, how can you do that? Yeah? You're like, yeah, tell me, give me a fantasy. I don't have the imagination to imagine. Because it makes no sense. It has to make sense even if it's not real. But talking about this reality that is this world, in the real world, in the real life. That we know it, at least we know it. Do they know it? Well, okay, Biden. Yeah, you want to keep doing the war with all the wars. Yeah, I know. You think you're Christian and you're good, of course. Yeah, you know that. For being evil, and old, not for being Christian, Catholic. No, but you're laughing. It's funny. Yes, it's funny. What can you do? At least he knows to talk better than Donald Trump. With all these people talking so bad about him, and that's happening to many presidents after the lockdown, after the coronavirus. These are realities that are very hard for Boris Johnson. We had the best in speech and charm. He's been, because the epidemic of people hating online, whatever it is, yeah, go there, whatever. So it is good publicity, at least for United Kingdom, to be in the news. So I'm sorry, Boris Johnson. That's the only thing that I could say. It was good, but United Kingdom is always going to be on the themes of the world. They could have better themes. It's hard to see the best people of the work in the parliament to quit, because of course toxic people will stay there forever, right? To make justice, bring justice, the voice of those who don't have a voice. You're just starting to talk. It was meant to be poetry, music to the ears. Yes. For something, not just for entertainment. Yeah. For something. And to me and my children, I have my rights as well. And you will have your rights when I give you or make you remember how role play had these parts and mechanisms. In virtual reality, and it's going to be good. To give one step further, you must give away a step from thinking that you own it. For the computer engineers, there are screens who are called LED screens, and they can vent, right? So how could it vent to make it like a circle? So one doesn't need to put lights everywhere. There's like a computer screen, but it's a globe. So each part of the world can be seen there. When people don't have water, when people have wars, with honesty, what is what? Yeah? Without subjective reality. If someone is hungry, it's hungry because it doesn't have food. Maybe it's not hungry because it lost its appetite in order to survive without suffering from hunger. But it's dying from hunger. Yes? On those levels of understanding for everyone. It's objective reality in this objective world or the real world. In this real life and only world we have that's real, that we share. We can see it for the computer engineers, if there are some. So we can see it immediately. For any company that can say, I'm going to go there, invest there, and just call other companies. We can do this here. And just talk about creation. I need all these supervisors, ping, transfer supervisors. Other people can become supervisors of these companies on the West, on the free world, on the evolved countries. Supervisors. Supervisor already knows with 1 year, 2 years how to supervise. To be a manager takes 5 years. That's like being any job, normal job, to become supervisor and then a manager, 5 years. You can manage anywhere in the world as well. Other people can become. There's so many people that want to become supervisors and managers. They can do that, but not every can. But if people are shipped back and forth, they can manage in places that need to create without destroying this world. And we can ship better material to ultra space, but with rockets that are not shipped with gas, methano. You can ship them and try to do them with other worlds. And where's the laws? The laws to stop scientists creating crazy things that are not needed. There are not new laws for that to stop them. They should all work for until there is human rights and the sickness that we need to heal. Until we don't have that, we cannot emerge. We have to accept that death exists until we discover how we create these pathologies with our interactions naturally. There are better people to occupy better positions of power in politics. They should not be placed by votes. Because of a show that needs to be run so people believe that democracy exists or dictatorship exists because they are good leaders. Because they need these other people who have these beliefs that sometimes are beliefs based on pathologies as well. And who is the most violent and has more stamina will be able to lead a country. It's not the way to lead a country. How can you have people insulting each other? That should be illegal. That was illegal when politics was created. Is that fun? Because the devil might reign for the next 20 years unless we bring him to the light to play. Because if he's not hiding, he is not in the underworld anymore, hiding from being mischievous and doing whatever he wants. Because everyone is after their desires to consume the weakest who believe in wealth, money, and power with the halo effect to make believe is holy and good. So if we all play as angels in the Garden of Eden with creativeness, allowing love to be love, to not desire other person's abilities, because that ability is being shared for everyone, to be creative. Every day of your life, every second, to live in joy. Gratefulness is real. It's not a projection. It's going to be faster and stronger once we are living in it. And I will hear, oh my God, I will hear that voice. Oh, yeah. Maybe I passed the test. So, well, I have to be 75% correct to pass the test. And I should have at least 6 mistakes to pass the test. And I had 11. So, well, it was not so bad for not studying. When I it's interesting because there were things that I didn't know, like the daffodil is the flower of Wales. That's the only thing I should study, really. So that goes for, all the answers are here and the questions. I don't need even to study these books. Yeah, which that's the official study guide, a guide for new residents. That there is no question about recycling, how we have our gardens, how people throw the rubbish, how to communicate, how to respect how other people dress, that people have the right to be happy. It's not that they're happy because they're laughing at them. That you don't have, you cannot shout to employees, because some people shout here and they think they have the right. Arab people mistreat their employees very much in their own countries. So that when they come here, they think that, and Black people think that now is your turn to be a servant, because we were servants before. So, what? So I have nothing to do with you. You come from Africa, I come from Venezuela. You know, in Spain, even the king serves. To serve is an honor. You have another understanding towards service. I have chosen this job to serve everyone and make them happy and make sure they're happy. That's an honor for me. It shouldn't be an insult. Why are you shouting? So there's nothing of that here. So that's why I guess to become British is just make your garden, mind your own garden. Don't talk with anyone. And smile. Keep calm and carry on. Just go. But there are more and more coming. And they're not going to be your servants. They don't like you. They are for interest. But they want to revenge. And they're happy when anyone that is not Muslim is killed by Muslims. Because they have whatever the reasons, whatever it is. Like the reasons that people have to do evil. So when you can take your inner devil out to dance, all your sin and pain can transform. And that is the theme of the scenario where we want to move. If we remember, we used to dance sometime. If we can dance through our voices to be better heard, what is it we really want and why? Why? Really? Just because you love it. Just because you can see millions of people vibrating through that form of work from one ear to another. And that is an expansion that transcends any capability of reason that could say no. Who would say no to that? It's impossible. The rich will have more. And anyone who opposes any other's idea will have more as well, as long as they respect others. But the freedom of expression and thought has to be shared to its highest understanding through one another, through that climax. And nobody can be moved from there once you're there, because You're so in tune with your ecstasy that is given to everyone, actually, for free, just to create and respect death, that we're all gonna die. The day I die, I want to be fulfilled, that I have lived fully. I'm ready to die because I haven't hurt anyone. I do not retain myself to this life, because everything that I have created, I have given it away. Even when I was not paid. And when I get paid, it's more to give. That's what makes me apart from life to death, that I let go. Why? Because I will have more to be perceptive. The less attached I am to those possessions and false beliefs, and observe and report to God with my prayers that we are reaching, that someone will hear this story. Because they are brave and intense to propose what they've been practicing all their life to do. As they are. She and he. They don't care to be criticized. They love themselves. They had love. They know what love is. I love when the Kardashians were talking about narcissism. They were so funny. I do love the Kardashians so much. My daughter helped me to, Debbie, my first daughter, helped me to, because I was just role playing. I was not into anyone really. Just role play, just on my own, fantasy stories, whatever, all these characters, and just going to work. Gosh, they're so beautiful, and they bring their character. And they, yes, what did you tell me that I'm a narcissist? I said, oh yeah, I'm a narcissist. It's really cool because they have the ability to be open. They have to open themselves, and even if they're going to be judged and loved, because you're going to be loved, you're going to be judged, but they're being an emancipation of feminine beauty with all their curves. That's very juicy to see as a woman. So I have to dress hiding my femininity, because otherwise I feel attacked by men. Men have stolen my things again and again. Every time I wear a dress, because I'm alone, I don't have a family, I don't have my husband, I don't have my friends. I have put all my energy in this work consciously. So since then, I started to dress just like that, like unavailable. Don't touch me. I'm not even. I don't know. Yeah, I just look like a crazy woman, dressed like a man, but not like a lesbian. So just like it's not appealing. It's not feminine. It's not. And every woman loves to feel feminine and protected in order to live her own beauty towards life itself. Without condemnations. that man and woman can be beautiful. Respecting that is a form of love. Also, when you're very old, when someone has loved you when you were young, they still love you when you're very, very old, because they love you when you were young as well. They might think to know you and they don't know you, but they love you. They grew up seeing you. And they have protect you and fight for you because they love you without knowing you. So it's good for people to love the famous characters who are real in real life. For me, it was King Charles as a little girl. It's kind of like, who cares who is the real person behind? But everyone loves to be a king in his family, in his little life. We all have our own little space to call our heavenly state on earth. Kingdom is a space where you only fight the outside, not the inside. I pray that everyone comes together in real life to make this happen, so we can see the needs of this world without having to make believe stories. So we can create as we are evolving through communication, and people who don't know how to talk are learning to talk and express themselves, and are many hidden emotions that are coming out from the underworld of their history, as traumas that are coming up. These wounds has been always been there and are coming out. If they've been raped, to not allow their children to be raped. So these cycles are not repeated. Wars is coming out, emotions, but at the same time, we're going to learn what is a state of a heavenly state of harmony and understanding, whatever is what, to be safe where we are safe, and where is territory that is unsafe. So that awareness that you are sleeping with the enemy, like, why do you live in Israel with doors that are anti-bomb? You are not in a holy land. Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible. You can't call that state of heaven. You can think you're superior, protecting yourself, but you're creating that. That's a relationship you have with your neighbor, which is normal on every village to think your village is better than the other. I make even jokes about it. Sometimes where I've been longer, like lately I was like nearly 6 years or 4 or 5 in the same, the last 5 years. Yet it's not funny to see these things, but to become aware that it's not business to make money with. Until there is peace. You can believe whatever you want from the past of this world that makes you follow it, because it's been normal throughout history. It's not I have come here. That is your tissue of reality, not mine. You could never build a virtual reality with piracy and wars on Earth, because you have not achieved that level of respectfulness towards others, person, tissue of reality. This is why I cannot do the laws until you have crossed that bridge of understanding. For you to step towards me is to surrender your ego. When I gave you everything that I have. But that is your ego. That is useless behavior. I thought you could be better, that you could do better, having so much that you cannot even give 2 steps. You cannot even say thank you. Just to bring one word to this other person. Where is this 500 grams of paper? Did Bill Gates photocopy or gave you the originals? You know who you are and you know who is the other. If you want to know by that, you can let it be known, but I just want my work to proceed so it belongs to everyone in the world by its percentage, through the layers and the cover, because each piece for each part of the world. You can see it when you have the world built. It might take some time to take one step. But you will see your ego going higher in behalf of everyone's imagination to make their dreams a reality with hard work, not talking and showing off on the internet. But hard work. You know what is to bury your elbows, to think, to put these words together, to put this mechanism together, to have gone so far, to have gone with your imagination so far with people that you have found this, or you have created it, and it works. You will see how significant it is for everyone. Your ego will melt away just because you want to play and disappear with the people when you see it multiplying. But there are rules for virtual reality and real life. There are rules. People cannot be addicted to virtual reality. That's going to happen because they won't love the real life. So we must make sure that people are working as mediators to make a better world, and they have the freedom of expression, and they have to learn how to talk with authority and put their chapters aside, how to mediate, how they're going to make this zigzag. Yeah, always no, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. They were no, censor, no, this is bad, censor. So there is or there is a communication, or there is no. Just one totally disassociated from the reality of the other, and the other disassociated because both were raped. And who wants to think that that's the average vibration of humanity, to be on a frustration? No, especially those who come from so much love, were raised with so much love, educated with so much love. I mean, really, like, we need to write a next testament, so there is no more beliefs on apocalypses and genocides, rape, and all the words that they want to censor as well, because they are doing it. That's what they don't want you to talk about. We must write the New Testament, or where's the scriven to write it? We can write it. We can just take characters like that. I give you this character, you play this character, pick up a character, and you just go there. Oh, okay, I pick this character. Oh, don't share that character to anyone. The thing is that there are forms of playing where people should never know your character, because then you need to break through your own self to create a character. If you have someone who knows you, you might never play that character well, because someone who knows you is watching you and has already a set judgment over you. And you need to defend yourself, to protect yourself and whom you are. So you cannot play that character well in its totality, in its form of intelligence. That's why it's a being that is in that way, to study that character and their process. So you can fail again and again, and as we have failed again and again to find the best ways to interact with each other. I'm not going to share it for free once again. I appreciate that you wanted to be part of a conversation. Thanks to H.G. Tudor, who is a renowned person and very talented. I wish everyone had the courage to talk about their own problems and how it reflects in others. The freedom of expression has never been so far as with H.G. Tudor. I think he could be our founder to defend freedom of speech, but at the same time to bring form for others to understand each other. The suppressed class is never going to understand. Until they are free. But that comes from within. One day you will stop shouting and say, oh my God, I did it, I did it, Why did I find a formula to mansions into villages? Because I didn't want to pay vengeance against the murder of my father. I wanted to find a solution. So I took my anger to find that solution. If I'm talking with anger and hatefulness and talking about death, it's because it's one of the most romantic stories to talk about, is death. Whatever is the desire I have, the story of my life or of a character. It's not a fantasy because it happens to everyone. So it's not a big deal. It's not like, yeah. Do you ever know that? Where stories are being told with death. It's part of a twist of the tragedy and transformation with the compassion and all that. It's compelling because it's nowhere there to go there. But it doesn't mean that one is a depressive person. I have the right to cry, to pass a test to become an English citizen. When I have 500 acres, that I have my family, and I used to dance every day with the teacher of Arab dancing and meditate. I would go to many churches to check on the priest if they were giving a good speech. And try to think, why is the priest so angry? Shouting to all of us that we're sinners because we were born out of sin. People are in some poor neighborhoods living in misery, and they feel sorry because they have sinned. Feel very sorry because of everything. They feel is sorry for everything. And they just go, they dance salsa, drink a little bit, and they love their family, their food. That's it. That is good to live in prayer, at least. To transform that pain in prayer through your work and studies. Bye. I wish this stops. I want to be with my children and with the money I have earned that I deserve. And I want to give my formula away. I want to talk normal. I don't want to do theatrics anymore. I do it on purpose, but it's not really the way to be. I wish for no one to do what I'm doing right now. Bye. I wish no one needs to be in a war either, or that anyone has to talk about it, because it wouldn't exist. Only for fun, because you are in virtual reality, but it's not really an act of sin that you diminish another to put yourself better, to defend yourself. Bye.